talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or carp, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome everyone to Talking Fishing. Big show coming your way tonight. It is our last for the season. I know a bit of mail about that saying, no, you can't do that, but yes, we can. It's been a long season, and you know what? We always say in May the weather turns. We're going to attempt to get 6 people on the bar by the end of the show, but to kick it off, Adam Ring, Tiffany Newton, welcome along.
Thank you.
Tiff, you're about to go on a big adventure again.
Tomorrow we kick off up the East Coast.
Out of here. TV commitments are done.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. And I tell you what, how the Pies travelling, Anzac Day, big win. I'm not sure if he's recovered from it yet, but a very big welcome. Travis Dowling, the CEO of the VFA.
Wonderful to be here, and it was a fantastic win, and commiserations to all the Bombers supporters out. That was a cracking game, though. Really well played.
I had so many gags for you, ads, if Essendon had won, because they were looking like winning about three quarters away.
Listen, we gave him a sniff. Just to keep Anzac Day interesting, 85,000 fans there.
Got a touch of the Jack Ginnivans about you.
Who is that kid? Was that his first game?
Anzac Day medalist, that's all you need to know, Dave.
10 game.
5 goals.
Yeah.
I don't know why a St Kilda player wouldn't have won the Anzac Day medal.
Probably because no one cares.
Fourth on, pretty sure we're fourth on the ladder, but anyway. How good is fishing in Victoria? You're leaving the state, Tiff, eventually. How good is fishing in Victoria?
Well, it's really hard at the moment to actually talk about a spot to go fishing in Victoria because they're all firing. And so if you start talking about, a Purrumbete or a Bullen-Merri, or you start talking about some of the rivers or the estuaries, people think that, no, you're not up with it. No, they're really good, but these places are even better. Do you know what I mean? Like the Bay's fishing better. Port Phillip Bay's better than Western Port, but Corner Inlet's fishing better than the Gippsland Lakes. And so it's becoming quite controversial because everywhere is fishing so well, and it's one of those sort of years out of the box where you just have to really appreciate it and enjoy it.
I saw on social media earlier on this week the best someone who I'd put in high regard, the best tuna season ever.
Yeah.
So we've had outside of Port Phillip, we've just had tuna for months and months and months. The second they stop, although they have come back already, but the second they stop, the barrels start at Portland, Port Fairy, Apollo Bay, like amazing.
It's a 365-day-a-year fishery now, and look, there was some talk about there being a gold rush for tuna fishing when it first started in Victoria, but I would say that there are more people fishing for tuna in Victoria now than ever have before, because it's become accessible to mums and dads and to others. That people don't need to necessarily be 40 or 50 k's offshore to get them. I mean, they're getting them, like within a couple of kilometres of places like Port Fairy and Portland and Warrnambool, and it's fantastic. And
Tiff inland, I mean, at Chuka, Murray River's back, all those places are back.
It's been great. Over the Easter period, it's just been busy, heaps of fish caught. So
that's because of all those rivers that we've stocked on the Victorian side have all gone into the Murray. Exactly.
Good work. We're going to see what people have been catching. It's time to have a look at hang on, I'll start again. Let's have a look at what's been caught by the people at home. It's time for Catch of the Week.
Catch of the Week, brought to you by Shimano.
It's hard to stop fishing for whiting because both bays are absolutely on fire, and we'll see that in a minute. But Jack Payne, he just went to the middle spit and gone, we'll just get a gummy off the middle spit. Young Jack.
It was whiting gear, was it?
I think it was.
Little squid strip off the bottom.
It's amazing. The whiting that are around are in great size as well, and I think pushing, probably in quantity, the most 40-plus centimetre fish that we've seen in a long, long time.
And they won't be netted. That's the thing.
Correct.
They will not be netted, and that's...
they'll be around to stay. Yeah. Have a look at this. Tom Spark, a 44-centimetre whiting in the eastern entrance.
Tommy.
Well done, young Tom.
Good fish.
That is a cracking fish. You know they're thick when Jerry and Amy get a few, right?
This one.
Jerry and Amy. So Amy is a Worth leader, very proud one, and well done, Amy, out with Jerry, and they got their
Good
bag of
feed.
whiting as well.
A couple of handfuls of white.
He's a very good fisher, Jerry.
Yeah.
Very,
Down at
And
Tortoisehead Bank. Well done. Now the snapper haven't stopped either. So we keep talking about how good's the whiting, how
Such
good's the
variety.
gummies or the tuna or that. But the snapper are having another run down that Mornington Mount Martha.
Yeah.
And this one was at Safety Beach. Sarah Castrati.
Oh, really?
Well
That's a
done,
good
Sarah.
fish.
That's a fantastic snapper off Safety Beach.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just when we think everything's over.
Off Shark Bay. Yeah.
Continues.
Wonderful.
I got the call from my very good mate Michael Buxton. He says the big whiting are at Rosebud.
Is that right?
So I went down. I took my two kids who aren't kids anymore, Ben and Tegan. So 30. How old are they? 30,
Oh,
32 and 29, 33
Your
and
adult
29.
children.
When they get that old, you don't count anymore. But anyway, here's a cracking photo of Tegan with some fish. Now we got some genuine 43 centimetres amongst those.
Awesome.
And
How good's that?
fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you still have proud dad moments?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tegan's left her three children, my three grandchildren, at home with Paul.
go fishing.
They've all gone mad.
Yeah,
they all
yeah.
got drunk by the fire, and Tegan had a great day out fishing. But anyway, no, the kids didn't.
It's
But
a
anyway,
wonderful photo.
all right, let's head inland because there's been some fantastic fish caught all around the region of Victoria, and we'll kick it off with Ruby K, a lovely 1 pound rainbow trout in the Hauqua River Trough.
Yeah, beautiful part of the world, and
Yeah.
that's a cracking fish.
Would that be a wild trout?
Absolutely, all wild up there. We don't stock, and they're and just ripper fighting fish. And from all reports from all the trout fishers and to all my friends that are trout fishers, they can be a little at times ornery if the fishing's not great. But
Who?
It's trout fishers can be a little ornery. You're not stocking enough. You're not using the right strains. You should be doing more. But this year, and really all the way through since October, it's been nothing but smiles and pats on the back. The fishing's been incredible, and we can't take any credit for it. It's been the flows into the rivers and places like the Hauqua. All reports from our fisheries officers are everyone's going up there is getting onto really good quality wild trout.
Amazing.
I'm going to make a note of that. I want to talk to you about the Hauqua and the trout conference. The trout. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that and make a note of that.
Yep.
All right, let's keep going. Murray cod are also on the menu up at Moama. Ryan and
yes.
Sunny, have a look at this. Yep, there you go.
Oh,
Isn't
Photo.
that
That's
Nice.
a lovely photo, isn't
Nice
it?
looking
Beautiful
fish,
morning.
isn't
Looks
it?
like a beautiful
how's the
morning
house?
too.
Yeah.
Houseboat in the background.
Yeah.
Bit of fun.
That's big time.
All right, still in the regions. Port Albert fishing really, really well for King George whiting as well. Mark Eaton got this 42 centimetre model. That's a fat fish.
Isn't it?
It's just a great feed though, isn't it? Like that's a meal. That's a meal
Oh,
for
yeah,
someone. It's
definitely.
wonderful. Yeah.
4 weeks ago, I think it was, we sat here and said, is it all over for Lake Tyers because of the floods and the massive opening that's down there? And it's still very much open. I mean, the entrance is very wide. John Lazik, I think that's how you say it. Have a look at this 87 centimetre dusky at a Lake Tyers. Not the only picture of big dusky being sent this week, but we couldn't put them all on. And that system, it's not damaged at all.
Someone forgot to tell the big duskies that it's supposed to be hard fishing for them.
Yeah.
How good's that?
It's just absolutely fantastic. All right, let's go to the other end of the state. Harley and Cooper got a barrel tuna off Port Fairy.
Look at that.
I think Cooper was on the rod most of that fish.
How good is that? That's a
Wow,
great
good on
effort.
him.
Great effort.
That's pretty good. But they get bigger. Let's have a look at this. Daniel and his young son Tyler, another barrel tuna.
Wow. Look at the size of that.
Like,
That's massive.
That is incredible.
I actually got a sore back looking at the photo.
Yeah, it's bigger than the
Like-
kid.
I don't know how you could do that. Anyway.
That would have been front page of a paper like years ago.
Yeah.
It would have
Yeah.
been front page for
Yeah.
a fish
Yeah.
like that to be caught. And
But now there's 10 a day or
Yeah.
Oh,
whatever.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's laissez-faire.
Well, let's have a look at it. One that's even bigger. This is Braden, 128 kilos of tuna with Marco
Wow.
from Sharkmen Fishing Charters. And I know
looks nice.
Marco was pretty proud. That was his first charter for the season at Portland.
Not a bad way to open
Yeah.
the
What,
account.
what a way to open
Yeah,
the account.
exactly.
That is a big fish.
It is.
Yeah.
They look enormous hanging up.
Yeah. If you want to have a look at that fish, they kept it in the cool bag on the boat, and then they lift it out, with the hoist and weigh it. And there's a video up on Sharkmen Fishing Charters. It is amazing to see. it's they're a pretty special fish.
I love how they look after the fish though too, and they really look after all the meat on that fish, and that fish is going to feed a lot of people, obviously.
Definitely.
And the cool bags that they use these days, it's not been smashed about on the bottom of the boat, and it's wonderful.
It's good stuff. I reckon Paul Hardy-Smith was, he's
really
did
big on that.
Good job
Absolutely.
educating people. So anyway, if you'd like to send in a pick of your catch of the week, don't do it till about September. This is what you have to do anyway.
If you want to be like me and have your photo on TV, email your fishing pics to info@ifish.com.au. Fish on!
I wanna go fishing.
Coming up, fisheries news, including an update on Arcadia Fish Hatchery by Travis Dowling, the man in the studio right here, next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
G'day, Callan here from Paul Worslam's Tackle World Kramer.
Supercharged batteries have been supplying maintenance-free marine batteries since 2001. The Seamaster Gold range is second to none, delivering superior starting power and reserve capacity. No need to top up with water, truly a fit and forget battery. With up to 2 years replacement warranty, you know you have quality. Your battery is your lifeline. Without it, you're dead in the water because it's bloody hard to push start.
I've got a Seamaster battery in my boat.
Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Live from the studios of Channel 31 Melbourne, it's now time for some very fishy news.
And welcome back to Talking Fishing. Tiffany Newton, Adam Ring, Travis Dowling is in the room
Great to be
tonight.
here. Always
Good to
wonderful
see you,
to be
Trav.
here.
Now, bit of news. There's lots of different news tonight. The first one is Trout Fest. This is new.
Yeah, absolutely.
Travis, sorry, they're on me.
Yeah.
Come and celebrate all things trout. The VFA is very excited to host Trout Fest 2022 alongside the Australian Trout Foundation. We'll put all the details up on the screen to showcase and highlight the vast freshwater fishing opportunities around Eildon and all over Victoria. There's a heap of activities. You can help the fisheries team stock Eildon pondage. There's guided fishing clinics for kids on Eildon pondage. Bait and tackle are provided and hosted by Fish Care. Enjoy an exclusive tour of the Snobs Creek hatchery. That's always popular. Got a book for that. Get on the VFA Facebook page. You'll see all the details on that. Updates on the species and tips from industry experts throughout the day. Casting demos from experts, including fly and lure casting competitions, activities for the kids, and prize draws. So it's going to be big. Trout Fest, is this new?
Yeah, it is new, and all credit to Terry George and all of the crew over at the Australian Trout Foundation for really working with us on this and to try and make it as inclusive as possible for people to come along. But I mean, I know if you've been to Snobs Creek and others, try and get that experience to go and see the ponds full of fish, because anyone watching this show, you love fish, and to see ponds of fish like that, it is just incredible. And just to have people out there celebrating trout fishing in Victoria, it's just wonderful. And we had a hard time during the drought years, but trout fishing is just booming back. And I mean, I love seeing pictures of cheetah trout and and tiger trout and trophy browns and wild rainbows in rivers and
Macquarie perch.
Yeah, well, they're not trout.
They're not, I know. But, that's right, it's a Trout Fest, sorry. I was thinking about snobs.
Oh, right, absolutely.
14th of May, we did have the details up on the screen. Anyway, social media, have a look on the VFA Facebook page. All right, the next one is Arcadia. Let's turn over to the native fish hatchery up near Shepparton. I've got a bit of a video to have a look at. Let's have a look at this. Some pretty cracking technology there.
It just looks amazing, doesn't it? And it's best practice stuff. Like, we pulled together all of the best native fish farms in Victoria and New South Wales. And all credit to Anthony Forster and Catherine Greck and others that have worked on this. And they did this workshop for 2 days, and they said, now, if you were going to build a hatchery from scratch, what would you do to make it as as effective as it possibly can be? And they came up with connecting all the ponds through pipes to a gravity-fed system where the fish will come out. There's no draining of ponds and waiting around.
No netting of them.
No netting. So every time.
It reminds me of the slide at SeaWorld. You just jump on one end and you end up in the pool at the other.
Exactly. No, it is fantastic, and all credit to everyone who's worked on it. But to all the viewers out there, it's your hatchery. It's owned by the Victorian public, and it's going to make us have fish security when it comes to yellows and to cod for many years to come. And so it's fantastic.
All right, let's keep it rolling. There is a whiting competition coming up on the 14th and 15th of May. All the details on your screen now. Prizes each day for the heaviest bag, the heaviest 5 fish, the longest fish, the mystery length. It's going to be a minimum of 30 centimetres. There's a weigh-in at 12 to 1:30 on Saturday, 3 till 4:30 on Sunday. Barbecue and bar, rod and reel combos and fishing gear to be won. That is the Leopold Angling and Aquatic Club. There's an entry fee, $10 for members, $20 for non-members. You don't need to be a member. Lots of kids' prizes, all that sort of stuff. So well done to that club for putting on a whiting comp in prime time. Although I'd say
it's going to go off.
When's prime time for whiting fishing?
Doesn't stop.
All year round. It is so good. A little bit of late news that did come in today, and Trav, I flicked this to you as well. That another unfortunate death in New South Wales. Someone washed off the rocks again on the weekend.
Teenager, tragic.
Yeah, it's I think that's the 3rd this year.
Yeah, it's just horrific.
So it just reinforces. I know. I think there's been 100% support for wearing life jackets when you're rock fishing. Unfortunately, the 3 deaths in New South Wales this year so far haven't been wearing life jackets.
No, and you just know that if you'd had a dozen cans of beer and you're about to get in the car, your mate would say to you, "Hey, don't do that." It's just and hopefully with rock fishing in Victoria and where we're at now, if you walk out the door and you don't have the Stormy or the life jacket to put on, your family and your mates are going to say, "Hey, grab the life jacket and throw it on," because it will save lives. And
another bit of late news in this afternoon, the Big Dog Fishing Adventure boys. You saw Harry and Ben on the show the other week. They ran a competition. And how's this for effort? 11 out of 10 for effort. A 10-year-old boy from Wonthaggi, Cooper Maurizio, won the comp, right? And Ben and Harry, well, they didn't drive themselves, right? But one of their fathers drove them. They actually went to Wonthaggi and they surprised young Cooper because his nan had entered him. So these two boys rocked up and they surprised him and they sat down and had a really good chat.
How good is that?
How good is that? So well done, Cooper, if you're watching. The winner of the Big Dog Fishing Adventures prize, which I think that was a week in Hawaii. Marlin, wasn't it?
All expenses paid by the parents.
Yes, to be sure.
And a new JK.
Well done to Cooper. So there you go, bit of news. Trav, just quickly back on the Hauka River, I made a note. So I reckon about 5 or 6 years ago at the Talk Wild Trout conference, you had scorecards for each rivers, and the Hauka was actually quite poor and full of carp. Are you saying that's changed, or is that the lower level of the river?
Yeah, Hauka's really interesting, and for a lot of your viewers that will be watching, I mean, they know the Delatite, they know the Jamison, they know the Goulburn, and some people who have fished the Hauka, as you drive into Jamison, and it's that last valley before you get it, mightn't have had a great fishing experience there because the water tends to be lower, and it has suffered historically from warm water. But if you come at the Hauka the other way, so you don't turn off as you come out of Mansfield towards Jamison, you keep going towards Merrichig, and you come in at Sheepyard Flats, the Hauka there is, as good a wild trout river fishery as you'll find anywhere in Victoria. And from Sheepyard Flats all the way through Tunnel Bend up to 8 Mile, the water there, we're getting reports from our fisheries officers. It's deep, it's cold, and it is chock-a-block full of wild rainbow and brown trout. And everyone is catching them. The fly fishers are happy, the lure fishers are happy, the bait fishers are happy. The report cards are fantastic, but really do have a look into some of these rivers and how they're fishing. And I could more highly recommend people go and have a crack at the Hauka before the season closes for trout. Come through winter.
Now, Tiff, you're heading to Gippsland very shortly.
That's it.
Where's first stop?
First stop's Port Albert.
Yep.
heading to...
Oh, so you're not really doing day drives, just a couple of hours
just
up the road.
small little drives a day. That's how you got to keep the costs down.
Yeah.
Heading to Meetung, Lakes Entrance, Lake Tyers, because everybody's been speaking about it so much. I've got to stop there for a couple of nights and then continue up the coast.
So the exciting thing that's happening down at the Gippy Lakes, firstly there's a Gippy Lakes recovery plan, but Dusky Flathead, you're stocking them, Trav, 2 years in a row now?
Yeah, so 42,000 went in the first year. We put 35,000 in this year. And again, with the no netting occurring in the lakes now, it's all about replenishing those stocks. So, but when you're there, like people historically have thought about the Gippy Lakes. They fish the Nicholson, the Tambo, and others for the bream. But the flathead are coming back as well, so Duskies are starting to be in there. And of course, for the last couple of years, it's just been insane on King George whiting. Yeah. So there's so many things to excite you as a fisher. But Lake Tyers just continues to fish well. And hopefully, what we'll start to see with Lake Tyers now is with the mouth open, Trevally Alley will be back.
Bring it on.
That would be exciting. Yeah. Okay, so I've got a question for you on the Gippsland Lakes recovery plan. I know we debated this, I'm not sure whether it was you or Niki that was in Tiff, about the slot limit for bream was one of the things that was introduced for the Gippsland Lakes recovery plan. Yeah. If you find that bream have recovered well, do you drop the slot limit? Do you get rid of it? Because it's the only place in Victoria where there is a slot limit for bream.
No, that's true. And what I love about how we work, as an organisation, as an independent authority with fishers, is that we actually sit down and have conversations. And that one was quite difficult in terms of the slot limit on Gippsland Lakes, because it was there were a lot of people who wanted to just drop the bag and not bring in a slot, and there were others who were really keen on the slot, given the success with Murray Cod and with Dusky Flathead, about a slot, but leave the bag because they want to take a few fish home. But we won't be one of these organisations, and we pride ourselves on not, is that, saying, oh, that's it, we've made a decision and we're going to leave it there forever. So we'll see how we go. And if we start seeing a really strong recovery of bream, then we'll go back and talk to fishers. Now, it might be that fishers will say, we don't want you to change it. And it's like with Murray Cod. Yeah. When we actually dropped, because we used to have a 60 centimetre minimum Murray Cod, we dropped it to 55. And a lot of fishers said, no, don't do that. We really like the slot as it is, because the cod fishing we're having is the best we've ever had. So if we start seeing really, really strong bream fishing in Gippsland Lakes, people might say, don't change anything, keep doing what you're doing. But we'll have that conversation and we'll see how we get.
That is a good thing. All right, coming up next, product of the week. And not only do we head into the kitchen with Cara, but Cara's joining us in the studio. That's next on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
Good morning, spotters. Stephanie speaking.
Product of the week, brought to you by Tackle World.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Now, unfortunately, it's that time of year where a lot of boat owners put the boat into layaway, though this year I don't think they should, because the fishing has been absolutely incredible. But we're going to send you over to a short video to have a look at an ambi isolation switch to make sure that your batteries are in pristine condition when you do bring it out of lockup. So, fire away crew, have a look at the ambi isolation switch.
All right, product of the week. I'm here with Michael from Seamaster Batteries. And Michael, you've got this little switch here that's just a little gadget that not many people have seen before. Tell us about it.
What I love about it is its simplicity. It's just on and off. You hook it up to your negative terminal here, and it's just off, on, off.
So it's an isolator switch.
Correct.
That's actually built into the terminal.
Correct.
There you go.
You couldn't get much simpler.
Great little product of the week, handy thing. It's called an ambi isolation switch. Look them up, see where you can get them from.
There we go, the ambi isolation switch. It doesn't get much easier to make sure that there's no current running through those batteries.
Yeah, and it's just, you're not draining it at all. Welcome, Cara.
Thanks. Good to be here.
You didn't get the memo about the shirt?
No, I didn't.
Just checking. Hey,
just letting the team down.
I've got to say, there's one danger of you being here is that you're now going to hear the comments
I'm
about
nervous.
watching your...
I think that's why Tiff's, between
Because we've actually been quite commentary, haven't we, about your cooking
all
segments
positive
lately.
stuff.
All positive. Oh, yeah, no, it's all good. But can I just, before we get into your cooking segment, because you've got a big one this week, just want to say thank you very much, because it's been sensational. It's popular.
Excellent.
People are loving it. And I know even Kevin, the producer, has been... He's got your recipes and he's cooking them at home. So...
Yeah. No, it's great feedback.
Yeah, it's been good.
So they're simple and delicious. See, this is the
Well, that's the idea. It's so that everyone at home can do them. You don't need to be a chef.
Unless I have a crack at them.
I was going to say,
simple, but they're not so
when I say simple,
The thing you haven't been doing, though, is ticking off the list.
Well, that's a bit tricky.
The thing is, I've lost the list. So we're done.
Not a bad thing.
But before we have a look at your cooking segment, tell us about a metre cod you caught on the weekend.
Yes, with my husband.
Yeah.
So we were fishing up at the Edwards River,
Yep.
Deniliquin. 3 days we were up there. The first day, boys went out on the boat, nothing. Donuts, the good old 1,000 casts and nothing.
Yeah.
So the next morning, I ummed and ahed, the alarm went off. I thought, nah, you had no luck yesterday. I'm not getting up.
Yeah.
Dean, I think it was strategic, left the alarm next to the bed and left the room. So it went off, and then I'm like, I'm up.
Yeah.
I might as well go.
Awake
Yeah.
And it
How
paid
what time
off.
does the alarm go off?
Oh, it was 6
11.
o'clock. It wasn't.
You've got to take up whiting fishing and get to the water about 9:30.
Yeah, that's right. It wasn't too bad. And so we went out, and we actually got a few hits and a few follows. I dropped one at the boat, and I'll blame Dean for that because he was the net man, so he just wasn't quite quick enough. But it was the activity, so we were a bit excited. But I was dirty after I dropped mine, and I thought, that's it. Go back in, breakfast, like I'm done. He's like, oh, we'll just cross the river and we'll try over the other side. And I thought, oh yeah, a bit of structure. I think I put my cast in. He went in. He's like, I'm on. And I'm like, rubbish, whatever. I look over and I'm like, oh no, he's on. And you could just see the rod, and he's just
Big fish.
Big fish. And so you're trying to reel your line in. It's like, oh God, the excitement. And then we did, and I was on the net, and I just remember thinking, oh God, if I drop this, it's
it's payback.
There's no more. And we were so awkward. We had the bimini out, which we never do. So I'm trying to lean around that, and I've got the stick of the net on my leg, and then we're trying to, and I'm using it as a cantilever, and I'm thinking my leg's about to snap. Like it was just, so we got it on, and I think he was. It's hard to say if he was more excited that day or the day our kids were born. Like, there were tears. He was excited. Like, I reckon anyone camping along that stretch would have woken up to his, squeals of excitement.
But when you cast 1,000 times for a fish like that, and you get that fish.
And we've been up there 4 odd years and never had anything.
That's a good fish.
So he's been itching for a meatery for a long time.
Is that his first meatery?
Yeah. So he's in the club now.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome. That's good. All right, they're yelling in our ear. We have to go and have a little cooking segment. Here we go. Cara's in the kitchen.
Well, Japanese would have to be one of my favourite cuisines. So tonight I'm going to show you how to make a fantastic tempura batter. We're going to use some albacore tuna and some gorgeous tiger prawns. Now before we prepare the batter, we want to get all of our ingredients ready. So we're going to slice up our tuna. We will de-peel and de-vein our prawns. If we leave the heads on, they will look quite fancy when they're cooked. And then we've got the vegetables as well. Now we want to have nice and even slices of our tuna. So we're going to cut approximately 1 to 2 centimetre width. And this way it's going to ensure that it's going to cook evenly. And moving on to the prawns. I'm just going to start by cracking the underneath, just between the legs, and then just carefully peel off around the base of the head. Push your thumb down. And then when we get to the tail, we just want to poke in there so that we get that lovely flesh that's inside as well, and pull it out. So the vegetables to accompany this dish, I've gone with sweet potato, zucchini and eggplant. The sweet potato I have peeled and then cut into circles, and they're about 1 centimetre wide. The sweet potato will take a little longer to cook than our zucchini, so I have cut that a little bit thicker. Now with our eggplant, I'm going to cut these into fingers. So we're going to top and tail, And I'll cut it in half, and I might go in half again just so it's going to be easier to manoeuvre. And into finger size pieces, and that's what we're after with our eggplant. Now the key to making the perfect tempura batter is how cold we can get our mix. So I'm going to place the water onto an ice bath here. This is going to ensure minimum temperature for us for ultimate crispiness at the end. So to our water, I'm going to crack an egg and mix this in. Now we want to be careful not to over mix, and that's every step here. So we just want that egg just mixed in there. And now I'm going to add some plain flour. Now if we over mix, it's going to become real glutinous, and then the batter's not going to be light and airy. You can have a few lumps of flour, that is okay. So just take your time here. Just adding it in stages so that we're not too much on our hands. Okay, you can see that it's starting to thicken up now. Generally speaking, it is a lighter batter, so it's not heavy like a beer batter. I'm going to leave that there, and that's going to bring the temperature down. So while our batter is cooling, you can pop this in the fridge if you haven't got ice. We're going to coat all of our ingredients in corn flour or cornstarch. Now this is what's going to help our batter stick. So we don't need to worry too much about coverage, because it is just like a sticking tool. And same with our veg. Now in this wok, I'm using canola oil. You could easily use rice bran oil or vegetable, something that has a nice high boiling temperature. The ideal temp is going to be 180 degrees. We're going to start with our vegetables, just keeping in mind that our sweet potato will take a slightly longer to cook. Place them in our batter, make sure they're coated, shake off the excess, and we're going to pop these into our wok. So we're going to give these 1 to 2 minutes to cook, and they'll start to change colour when they're ready. You will turn them halfway through. We're going to remove our veggies. We're going to place them on a wire rack. And I've got some kitchen towel underneath just to absorb any oil that will drip off. It's important that we use a wire rack and we don't put them directly on the paper. This is going to keep them beautiful and crispy, and it will prevent them from going soggy. So now we get to do the same thing with our fish. Now we want to be careful not to overcook the tuna. So this has been in for 30 seconds, and we're just going to flip it over. Another 20 to 30 seconds and we'll pull this off. And last but not least, our prawns. Now the prawns we give a little bit longer, so they'll take 2 minutes. So we'll turn them after the 1 minute mark. And here we have our fabulous tempura plate. Our gorgeous prawns, our crispy tuna, the vegetables. What a fantastic meal. Serving these with some mirin dipping sauce and some matcha salt. Enjoy.
I reckon you'd go for the eggplant, Trav.
Oh, I love it. I live on it.
Man,
it's just wonderful.
Man, it's as fit and healthy as you.
Yeah, no, it's just eggplant every day. Breakfast.
There's a couple of things. Oh, they're yelling at us. We're over time. There's a couple of things in that car. The tray. That's the best tip I've ever seen. We just all throw it on the paper. On the little. Oh, what was it? A rack. Rack. Yeah. There you go. All right, we're getting yelled at. Coming up next, Kramer's Mailbag, and I've got a new idea about how to get rid of your old flares. I'm not sure Travis can contribute to this. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
G'day, Callan here from Paul Worsling's Tackle World Kramer.
Supercharged batteries have been supplying maintenance-free marine batteries since 2001. The Seamaster Gold range is second to none, delivering superior starting power and reserve capacity. No need to top up with water, truly a fit and forget battery. With up to 2 years replacement warranty, you know you have quality. Your battery is your lifeline. Without it, you're dead in the water because it's bloody hard to push start.
I've got a Seamaster battery in my boat.
Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
two things are going to happen if we get any more people behind the bar. A, we're going to run out of beer. B, Travis is going to be joining us from Altona. So, anyway,
I like Altona.
Niki Duckstein, welcome.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for having me.
All three of you now, Tiff, and it's so good. I know, Tiff, you only joined us after Christmas.
That's
but
it, yep.
Cara, you both took turns before Christmas.
Yeah,
so
a couple of months.
it's been a long season, and I'll just explain. It is the last show for the season, but we've got all three of you here. Just want to say thank you for your contribution and co-hosting duties. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. Fun. It's been good. Yeah, it's been good fun.
Now we're going to talk about the WRF network soon. Trav's going to give us some ideas about what's happening in 2022.
Sure.
But we're going to get through Mailbag first, so let's kick that one off. Hello, a few weeks ago you had a story on Talking Fishing about, this is from Ray, about future rod and reel commercial permits. Do you know where I can find the information? Thanks, from Ray. Travis, is there any info on VFA website?
Yeah, there is, and it'll be about the line caught permits. At the moment, we're really focusing on existing commercial fishers to try provide that opportunity for them as well as an implement, like to supplement their income. But it's certainly something we're going to look at further, because our goal and our vision is that in every coastal town in Victoria, you can go there and buy fresh fish directly off the boat. Not imported, not from even Tassie or New Zealand, or fresh fish straight off the boat in every coastal town in Victoria. That's what we're trying to get to.
Okay.
Yeah, but
there'll be some detail on the VFA website.
On the VFA
about
website, or please reach out to me and directly, and I'll provide some information through.
There you go, Ray. Now I've got an idea about what to do with your flares.
All right.
It's not going to break any laws in Australia, I don't think. Right. But I don't know if any of you are addicted like I am to the F1 Grand Prix now. All right.
Oh, here we go.
But in Italy on the weekend, let's have a look at what happened in Italy on the weekend. There are flares everywhere. Now, people are just letting off flares in the crowd. If that was in Melbourne, there'd be 100 security guards swarming each one of those people and carrying them out by the scruff of the neck. So what about if we brought them all together and exported them to Italy? All the old flares, because they're allowed to use them in the crowd there. It was amazing. It looked so good. Anyway, that was just my idea for that. Move on to the next one. All right, this one here. On Tuesday night show, you touched on the subject of the survey currently open for public review of the St Leonard's boat ramp upgrade. This is from Darren. This ramp is in its current state. This ramp, in its current state, was built to withstand all the issues back 20 or so years ago, and is still the most hazardous ramp on the Bellarine, with no shelter from any wind direction when it turns nasty. Ideally, a circular wall to surround the current area would be my best option. However, I would like your panel's thoughts on a new ramp to be incorporated utilising the St Leonard's pier area, with construction of a ramp there, and to build a break wall from the southern side and rebuild the wall on the northern side of the pier to make a safer entrance to the ramp, similar to St Helens and Clifton Springs. As noted from a panel member, this pier is in need of some repairs. Here is a great opportunity to make this a great idea for land-based anglers to fish from in the future and make a safer boat ramp. Was that you, Niki, that was down at St Leonard's Pier?
I'm very familiar with the area. The only tricky thing is parking there. I'm not sure where they would all park, but I know what he's talking about, because there's a rock wall that used to be there, and it might be something they look at, but it's
better put that in the KG file.
But there's a couple of boat ramps with no shelter. That's not the only one. Dented Heads is the same.
But there is plans for St Leonard's. I know KG's running that, and it's so it'll
he
get
needs
fixed.
to go along. I think he sounds like he's keen.
But not a bad idea to build another one at the. I think 1 kilometre away, 1.1 kilometre away.
As long as it's not on the squidding side on the left, that's all good. That's your spot.
All right, I've got this one here. Hi, Kramer and crew. This is for Trav for sure. This is from Phil. I love your show every week. I look forward to watching it. I would like to launch my boat at Lorne to try ocean fishing. No boat ramp at Lorne. However, I cannot launch my boat at Barwon Heads, as my bimini cover is hardwired and can't put it down to get under the I presume he says Barwons because it says Bowen River. Is there a Bowen River down that way? No, it'd be Barwon River.
Yeah.
There are no other boat ramps I can use except to travel to Apollo Bay, which is around 2.5 hours from home. You're not going to go there. I had previously written to you in the past trying to find out what the launching of a boat with the tractor at Lorne and never got an answer. I think we did actually answer that the following week, but that was years ago. So thanks for that, Phil. We need to work that out.
But they do beach launch with their vehicles.
At Lorne?
Yeah, we were sitting on. There's a pier and there's a restaurant, and we were sitting there watching like
That's
all
where
these
the tractor
four-wheel
is.
drives. Well, no, it was four-wheel drive.
Four-wheel drive as well.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, Phil.
Maybe it needs a four-wheel drive.
Yeah. You might be able to do that. We better do this one.
Here we go.
Well, we've been copping a hard time about Port Phillip Bay.
Oh.
All right, Port Phillip.
The hysteria.
Whatever his name was. So this is from Craig. Greetings and congratulations on another season of Talking Fishing. Thank you. Regarding the recent discussion about Port Phillip, while I can appreciate the writer Dave's earnest comments about Port Phillip and do not wish to minimise his viewpoints, might I offer an additional comment? Yes, you may, Craig. I am not a professional linguist, but am aware that languages undergo changes across space and social groups, and most especially varies across time. In particular, rapid or casual speech naturally produces processes in usage through various means, especially through repetition. Particularly references can gradually become accepted as commonplace, which is most relevant to the present discussion about Port Phillip. The fact is these casual and repeated references to Port Phillip Bay over a significant period of time has created an association with the area of water in question and additionally helps to clarify the distinction between the city of Port Phillip and Port Phillip Bay. This is getting technical, isn't it? It goes on about with apologies to Pete, I and my fishing colleagues will continue to refer to our lovely adjacent water area as Port Phillip Bay. Congratulations on another good season. Anyway, there you go. If you'd like to write into Kramer's Mailbag, don't talk about Port Phillip Bay.
Don't do it.
This is what you have to do, but don't do it till September because this is our last show for a few months.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
Do you want me to read about Stonehenge?
Yeah, it's relevant.
Okay, I was trying to. Okay. The situation is quite similar to the references to Stonehenge in England. According to the strict definition of a henge, Stonehenge is not actually a proper henge, as the earthwork circle which surrounds it is not in the correct location. However, due to repeated references over many years, all but the most pedantic individuals accept Stone. You're going to get me into trouble.
Yeah, so do we just call it Stone?
As appropriate designation for structure.
Asking for a friend.
I knew you wanted me to read that just to get us into trouble. All right, coming up next, Hotspots, and there's plenty more to come on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
The Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron is a trailer boat and social club on Port Phillip Bay. The club has a great range of facilities, including multiple boat ramps, ample car and trailer parking, boat wash and fish cleaning, fishing competitions and boat safety lectures, boating activities and club events, a restaurant and 2 bars. Easy launch and retrieval makes for a relaxing time on the water for you, your family and friends to enjoy. And boating memberships are now available. The Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron, the best trailer boat experience on the bay.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now the segment you've all been waiting for, Fishing Hotspots, brought to you by the Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron, Melbourne's premier trailer boat club.
So much to talk about, a big panel tonight, and I tell you what, we are counting down the last segment of the last show for the series. We take a break and we'll be back in September. So let's hurry up and get through the hotspots. Have a look at this one. I am told the big calamari have come into the bay and they're at Portsea right now. So get down there, monsters.
Big ones.
They must have come in from outside.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about them down there. Rosebud whiting, I got to experience them myself this weekend just gone. Some big whiting down at Rosebud. If you want to head over to Western Port, again, the big calamari are in. They're saying the quail bank and the tire bank. I'd be picking the quail bank this weekend if you want to get out. And the whiting, as you saw Amy Day, one of the wharf leaders, got onto the whiting down at Tortoise Head Bank. That's the next hotspot. And then at each end of the state, isn't it fantastic to see that, well, is Victoria the game fishing capital of Australia?
At the moment, we're happy to claim.
Well, I'll tell you what, there'd be more barrel tuna caught in Victoria than there is 1,000-pound marlin in Queensland per year.
Yeah, fair call.
I reckon. So,
Tassie's
I don't
doing
know.
pretty well in the tuna front at the moment.
It is too, yeah, but they
But
not as many swordfish, I don't think.
Oh, I saw a good one yesterday.
Yeah, so Portland tuna. Sorry, that's the next one. Have we done that? Oh, there we go, Portland tuna. And lucky last, Lakes Entrance swordfish. A few more starting to come in.
It was good weather. That's all it's about. Weather.
Went out there.
All right, let's talk about a few things. Hooked on Portland travellers on the weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so again, we do this each year, and unfortunately with COVID, we had to suspend it for a couple of years. But we invest really strongly with Glenelg Shire Council in running a fishing festival to celebrate tuna, celebrate Portland as being the new Bermagui in terms of tuna. But we had fantastic input from all the wharf leaders on the weekend, and there was some really active and engaged people just coming through our through the festival, but a really strong wharf presence, which was just excellent.
Yeah.
So wharf, it's another year, and hopefully no restrictions for the rest of the year. I know the last 2 years of leaders
pretty much online.
never did that big Gold Coast type thing that all three of you did.
Yep.
What's coming up for wharf?
We've got lots coming up. I know you've got the big Mother's Day event that you're going to be.
So there's Wyndham Harbour. So on the Saturday, so the 7th of May,
day before Mother's
Day. Wyndham Harbour event for families. I mean, it's open to all, isn't it?
Heaps of activities.
Yep, we just want to get all the women involved.
Yeah, bring your mum along.
Yep, I'll be doing cooking demos.
Okay.
There's going to be necklace tying, which is learning how to tie different fishing knots.
Yep.
What else are the girls
Trailer
doing?
reversing we're going to do, so come down, we'll help you back a trailer if you don't know already. So.
Got a great facility there too, haven't they? Wyndham
Very
Harbour.
good, so it'll be a great event.
And then plenty of more things coming up for wharf.
So there's some big things you're not allowed to talk about, isn't there?
There's one big thing we can't release yet, but it's coming.
Save the date, 27th of June.
Any females watching, join the Wharf Network.
Definitely. So jump on Facebook. We're now on Instagram.
Instagram.
So Instagram's open for all to follow and.
Okay.
I understand there's going to be a Queensland chapter. Is that right? Have you guys heard
I
of
don't know.
this?
It's been Dallas.
Dallas is such a copycat. Trav, what's in store for the leaders? Will there be a new Wharf leadership group in 2022?
Well, hopefully. I mean, the whole idea is to continue to build and bring more women through into fishing. And so each of you that have come through previously, you've stuck with it and been part of Wharf now for a number of years. And like with any organisation, you've got to keep bringing people in because there'll be more people that'll be enthusiastic. And I think about, the young blokes that you had on here, had their own fishing show and others. There's going to be other women out there that are going to be inspired by this. And so absolutely, it's something we're going to continue to invest in and continue to support.
Yeah. What's the membership standing at around now?
Ooh, I haven't looked at the latest numbers.
3,500
or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
So our goal's 4,000 by the end of the year, I think.
So jump on and search for us and come and join.
And there'll be Wharf local groups as well. So little sections in different spots, I guess, around Victoria where you can meet up with a Wharf leader and then have a fish, learn a few things. And
social.
What year did you become a Wharf leader, Tiff?
Oh, I think I was a first year.
Yeah,
so it would have been
4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah.
Cara?
2019, year after year.
Yeah, I was the same as Cara, so.
Of the leaders, all the leaders that were in your leadership group, are they still all active, or do you find a few?
Not really. There was definitely some that sort of dropped off, and I guess that's just going to happen naturally with any sort of group, schools, all that sort of thing. So there's definitely Karen, myself.
Joe's still heavily involved. But I mean, there's still others that just gone a different way in fishing. It's not that they haven't really.
They've become the alumni.
That's it.
Yeah, still present, but not necessarily.
Cara, did you ever imagine it was going to be what it is? When you
no
first applied or whatever you have to do.
She wasn't going to apply. Thanks to Dean for pushing her.
Dean pushed me. So I didn't think that I had the knowledge or enough, to give. But then you sort of realise that if no one stands up, that's not going to happen. So you've got to push past that and what you learn along the way.
Yeah.
And you do have knowledge to share that, you know, there's always someone learning that you can teach. So, and now it's, you know, I'm a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's also a pathway for careers, if that's where someone might want to go. It's a pathway for being part of boards and organisations that are really charged with the responsibility of managing fisheries across Victoria. So to give availability and access to those opportunities for women who are really actively participating in fishing across Victoria, I just think it's a really positive thing, and it's a positive thing for the entire industry. And the feedback that we receive at Fisheries is it's one of the best things that we've been involved with for since we're established in 2016 as an independent authority.
Just a reminder, it is our last program for the season, but if you want to hear Talking Fishing every week, 3MP, we're on, Adam and I, every Saturday morning, and might be some big news coming for the regions very shortly on 3MP's Talking Fishing. But anyway, tune in if you want, or we're on a podcast on the 3MP app, and you can listen to us anytime. You don't have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning like we do every Saturday morning. But anyway,
that sort of day.
No. But anyway, if you want to keep on us, otherwise you're going to watch repeats for the next 4 months. So, Trav, thank you for managing fisheries the way you do. Sincerely, I mean, it's a massive job. You've got a big budget, you've got a lot of staff, and you look at the other states. We are the envy of other states, and it's a big congratulations to you and your whole team on how you manage fisheries in Victoria.
Thanks, Dave. But I will say it's the staff at the VFA that make the VFA, and it's all 180 of those staff and what they bring to the table each day. And I'm pretty sure a cardboard box could probably do what I do. It's what they do is the really important stuff.
All right, I'll tell you what, we're getting the wind up. Thanks, Trav. Thank all of you. The whole panel throughout the whole year has been absolutely fantastic. Adam, Cara, Niki, Tiff, Louis, Jack, Heidi, Callum, Otto, Josh.
Jess.
I can't see her in there. Jess and Simone. I've got a little cheat sheet over here and I can't quite see the end of it. It's a big crew. We hope you enjoyed the show. As I said, we're not back until next September. But until we see you again in September, please stay safe and enjoy your fishing.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook. So just relax and take your time. Enjoy the show, then drop us a line. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing.
Have a good weekend, Mr. Walker.
You too, son.